Talk to you about the seven ancient wonders of the world. Does anybody here know what those are? If you do, raise your hand. No.
I know part of it, but I can't swear to all
I
of
think
it.
she watched a lot of History Channel, so that's probably why. But I'm sure you can't hear me.
Let it get closer.
All right. Well, I'm sure most of y'all do not know what these are, but I'm sure most of y'all maybe have heard of these. Well, these things play a huge role in the history of our world. These buildings have actually made a lot of advances in technology and buildings for today. Well, I've done a lot of extensive research over the years. I've done quite a few papers ever since I was in about the 7th grade on this kind of stuff, so I know kind of a little bit about it. But here, I'm here to inform you that they are and why they are such a big deal to our society today. What I will inform you will be, at first, I will talk to you about the three of the most interesting wonders of the world, four others of the wonders of the world, and about a brief history of each one, and why are they such a big part of our history today. Alright. Now, my favorite wonder of the world that I'll begin to talk about will be the Colossus of Rhodes, right here. And Colossus of Rhodes was built in Rhodes, Greece, in about 282 BC. This building was about 100 feet tall, and it was built for the Greek sun god Helios. Now, it was built on a small island on Rhodes because they tried to take everything away because they had such great technology at the time. They kind of wanted to seclude it in one area. Now, it was built after the Rhodians and the Ptolemy rid the city of war of some of Alexander the Great's generals. Now, website www.sevenwonders.org states that this thing stood for about 56 years and eventually supposedly collapsed due to earthquakes and fell off into the water, so we really don't know too much more about it anymore. Alright. Now, the second one I'd like to talk about is the Lighthouse of Alexandria right here. Now, this lighthouse was built around 3rd century BC by great architect Sostratus. It was built in the great city of Alexandria, which is Alexander the Great's capital pretty much. And it was built to be it was around 300 to 600 feet tall. But most people want to say it's about 300 feet tall. 600 feet, that's ridiculous. But this lighthouse here, it was such a big deal because, one, it was one of the first of its kind, and two, it's believed that the light actually reached out to about 35 miles out to sea. So that's quite a distance to see, just one little light. Alright, well, the only thing that happened though, they believe that it may have collapsed about 1375 by a bunch of earthquakes. But still not too sure about what happened with that one. Alright. Now the next thing I'd like to talk to you about would be the statue of Zeus here. Alright. And this statue was built around 466 BC or around 456 BC by a great architect and structural person, Phidias. It was about 39 feet tall, and the reason why it was such a big deal is because at this time architecture and just the description that Phidias put into this statue was just amazing. It was just way past its time. Alright. And this supposedly stood until about 480, but still today not too many people know the reason for its collapse. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and talk to you all about the next four wonders of the world and a brief description about them too. First one I'll talk about is the Pyramids of Giza. These things still stand today. It's the only one of the seven ancient wonders of the world that still stand today. And of course it's in Egypt. This was such a big deal because it's 2.6 million cubic meters all around, and it's built about 146 meters high, which is humongous. So many people honestly believe that these pyramids were not built by just humans themselves, but a lot of scientists want to say that it was roughly built by about 300,000 workers over about a 20-year period of time. So that's a lot of time for one building. Alright, now the next thing I'd like to talk about is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon here. Now these were supposedly located in present-day Iraq around 600 BC, and the reason it was built was King Nebuchadnezzar II, who was in charge at that time. He wanted to build something great for his wife, Amytis. The thing is about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is they actually did not hang. But on the website www.unmuseum.org, it states that the outer walls of the Hanging Gardens here, they reached about 56 miles wide, about 80 feet thick, and was supposedly about 320 feet high. Now this is an enormous building. So he built this for his wife, just for something, just a beautiful garden and stuff like that. But supposedly this is another thing that actually got fallen down by earthquakes over time. All right. Now the next ancient wonder of the world I'd like to talk about is the Mausoleum of Mausolus. This is, where's this at? Right here. Alright. And Mausoleum of Mausolus was located in present-day Turkey, and it was actually a tomb for the Persian emperor at the time, Mausolus. It was, the reason why this is such a big deal today was because it was such a beautiful place. It was such a beautiful site because it was on the hilltop overlooking the city of Halicarnassus. And another great part of it was that there was tons of sculptures all around representing Greek mythology at that time. Alright. Now the next one, the very last one I'd like to talk to you about is the Temple of Artemis. This is right down here. And the Temple of Artemis was located in Ephesus, which is near present-day Turkey today. It was actually built for the Greek goddess Artemis. And the thing that stood out about this temple here was there's about 127 columns holding it up that were made of marble, and each column was about 27 feet high. Now, a small bit of this still remains today, which archaeologists and historians, they still go down there today, still trying to cover up some of the past that may have happened to it. But it's believed today that it may have been burned down in about 356 BC, which many say that it was actually burned down at the exact same day that Alexander the Great was born. Alright. Now, after explaining these to you, I'd like to talk to you all about the importance of these 7 ancient wonders of the world. Number one thing that these things have represented for us is these are great symbols of what humans can actually achieve. With the amazing architecture and sacrifice that people put into building these buildings, this shows that we have a number of things that we can do today. In fact, a lot of historians and people say today that there's no way that humans could have built these things themselves. But on the website www.library.thinkquest.org, it states that many of these buildings, pretty much every single one of these things, were built for people above human status, like gods, goddesses, just things that are above them. It was just built for them, you know what I mean? Now, these things are such a big deal, though, because these things have kind of started the way for advances in buildings today. These things have made us advance in better sculptures, better gardens,